Coinbase is listing Caspa this week in futures. This is game-changing big picture. Right now, the market is gloomy. Caspa just had its darkest hour, and this ray of light burst through from Coinbase saying, hang tight, guys. We're almost there. It's just a matter of time. This bull run, projected to last into early 2026, late 2025 at best, gives the dev team all the time they need to finish smart contracts. Meanwhile, overseas, we've got the KII working hard on gigawatt stablecoin, building on chain for us, the Caspa community. This contrarian narrative that we're seeing with the Bitcoin maxis, this is exactly what we want. This is indicative of face-melting gains. The truth that we know eventually will be revealed to everybody. It's a matter of time before they put 2 and 2 together and then start loading their bag with Caspa. That is what creates dynamic price action. This is the perfect storm brewing right now. We're getting extremely lucky with the economy and monetary policy delaying this bull run, allowing the team to continue building on train. It's the perfect storm. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, always said, when you invest in the strongest asset you can find, everything will fall into place. It's evident there's many fat fingers on the scale pushing Caspa's price around at this point. The tinfoil hat conspiracy theories are blaming it on MEXC. It's obvious that the market makers, wallet number 5, for example, they need to load up on Caspa and would prefer a massive discount in doing so. Keep in mind, eventually, those same fat fingers tipping the scale to a discount now, these are the exact same fat fingers that are going to turn around and help push the price up later on. In November of 2023, all-time high was 5 cents. We did a video combing through the top 300 wallets, finding out how much they paid, when they bought. The majority of early whales paid between 4 and 5 cents. The deal on the table today is amazing. We're going to jump into another flashback video on technical analysis from April's downside during the last total 3 altcoin slump, right before Caspa did a breakaway to the pack, becoming the top 10 strongest performing altcoin of the year, right before the Bank of Japan carry trade. The technical analysis concept we're about to break down only takes place on cryptocurrency because of its strict halving and emission schedule that creates shockwaves on the charts. We see these in the form of repeating trend lines. On Caspa, we can see these white and gold trend lines creating downward price channels, repeating the exact same trend line over and over again. We've been using these since August, May of 2023 to get a more accurate price description. The flashback that we're about to take you to is right here in April, where we're using the gravitational field in gold to recognize resistance and project this pullback. Later, there was an FOMC meeting right here. Using this in combination with monetary policy, we got everybody in on a 10x leverage trade right here at 12.25. riding it all the way up to the Bank of Japan, where we closed those out at 19 cents because of the head and shoulder pattern combined with monetary policy. Recently, with the FOMC KRC20 launch, recognizing that this would pull cash off-chain into KRC20 ecosystem, we projected more downside here, and using this other repeating trend line off the base of the cup formation, that's how we put together that crazy call out September 18 at 18 cents, short sell to 12.5 cents on Halloween, October 31st, which was pretty close to being bullseye accurate. Now, we had a lot lot of chop right throughout here with the Kraken listing. Look at how we completely blow out of and then retrace below this gravitational field, only to later, once things cool off, retest it again, and then we find support off it again. All the way from the Bank of Japan in August, all the way back to just last week. It's the exact same repeating trend line that's been showing up on Caspa's chart over and over again. Let's jump into this flashback, and then we'll use this information to get a projection today. This brings us to our second origin repeating trend line, which is our resistance trend line. These all started way back in April at the beginning of the cup and handle pattern. We can see with this white dotted line. It then repeats again with strength during the handle formation. And of course, if we set a Fibonacci pitch up in here, all of these massive divots in between the April descend and the handle on the cup, they line up perfectly with the Fibonacci 316 spacing. Now we can see we fell on this exact trend line during the falling wedge pattern after the November breakout, and we're on it once again. Some fine points to note here. When we're on the underside of this trend line, things are extremely bearish, and recently we've been behind this trend line. Just recently, we've gotten on top of it. So a breakout is starting to form. The massive question at hand is this: does this repeating trend line have enough gravitational pull to give us one more bounce off the top side, we then break out? Now, there's a way that we can confirm when this breakout is indefinitely happening, and that's by measuring the gravitational field. This has happened again and again, all the way back to the handle of the cup. On this trend line, we can see these spikes marked by the dark gray dotted trend line. Once the candle surpasses this distance, once it gets far enough away from the gravitational field of this descending force, farther than it's ever been away from it before, then we can confirm the breakout. And if it holds right at this 14.5 cents level, right in between the blue and the red zones, it will be approximately on the 21st of April, which is right during the Bitcoin halving. Taking this gravitational field concept a bit farther, we create this green dotted trend, which shows how far our last breakout got away from this descending force. And right now, the strength hasn't even matched it. Now, in the scenario where we can get past this green dotted trend line, this is one step closer to reaching the gray dotted trend line, thus confirming the breakout and escaping the gravitational field. But as of right now, we're still even inside the green dotted trend line from this recent push to the upside. This is symbolizing bearish action, and when we add on another indicator known as oscillator stochastics and Chenking's oscillator, these are very similar to RSI and MACD. They're showing very neutral signs, as our fuel tank, Chenking's oscillator, is completely fat. Typically, when there's going to be a breakout, your Chenking's oscillator will be making new highs or will be above the baseline. Right now, it's actually been descending and it's just going completely flat. So it's very neutral, and the stochastics, which is a lot like an oscillating RSI, is fully at the top right now, so it is likely and probable to make another descent back down, which could symbol a hard bounce off of this white dotted trend line. Based on all the technical analysis, yes, Caspa will make another pullback, bouncing off of this white dotted trend line right around the Bitcoin halving, and then start its ascent into escaping the gravitational field. The final puzzle piece to keep in mind, the prior FOMC meeting on December 18th, December 20th. That's right around 12.5 cents. Combined with the gravitational field on February 20th, we're right in that range. So there's paired resistance, both at that psychological level from the last FOMC meeting and the gravitational technical resistance. This will be very difficult to break into the other side. Now, in the bullish event where we do get a candle up to, let's say, 15 cents, retracing and finding a lateral support away from this downward price channel that's been taking place since August 1st with the original Bank of Japan carry trade is a must-have. There has to be a displacement from that downside. In the stock market, they term this Wyckoff's method. Gravitational fields, origin trend lines. This is crypto's version of that system. The Wyckoff method designed to signal when the breakout is free from resistance, ready to catch upside, or when there's going to be continued downside. And this is the exact system that we need to pinpoint leverage trade entries on Caspa. These fat fingers on the scale may in fact be using the Coinbase futures to get a reduction in price. You guys have heard Binance, every single new listing that they've had has crashed and burned for the past 30 days. It's become a short selling festival. This is futures, and this is a different exchange with the Coinbase Caspa listing, but we don't want to approach this with a bias. We want to use all of our technical skills to put this puzzle piece together. To learn more about the origin trendline system, combining classic patterns to FOMC calendar dates, we have a beautiful course inside our VIP where we'll be doing buy and sell alerts specifically on Caspa and other assets ready to turn entropy around, stop selling off, and begin to catch a bid to the upside. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.